Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today, we're counting down the top 5 best Masters of the Universe figures from 1984. If you missed out on our top 5 figures from 1982 or 1983, make sure to check out those videos as well. In the number 5 spot from 1984, we have Battle Armor HeMan. This second version of HeMan allowed kids new to the Masters of the Universe property the ability to pick up their favorite hero. Battle Armor HeMan's action feature is housed inside his chest. This was a feature recycled for Hot Wheels toys, where when the cars crashed, they would get damaged. HeMan's chest, when hit with one of his weapons, takes a slash of damage, and if you hit it again, takes a second slash of damage. And then you can easily roll it back and reset it to have all kinds of fun again. I had a ton of fun with Battle Armor HeMan as a kid, and that's why he made it as number 5 on the list. Other than his torso, he's exactly like the original HeMan, coming with his axe and his power sword. He has one gripping hand and one non-gripping hand, and unfortunately, because he doesn't have the add-on armor piece, the power harness, he can't stow his sword on his back. Battle Armor HeMan was featured on quite a bit of promotional materials for the Masters of the Universe line, including several of the painted posters. Number 4 from 1984 is Webstor. Webstor is a wicked villain who came with the ability to scale walls. Like most of the Masters of the Universe figures, Webstor features the Power Punch action, and then he comes with this removable chest armor. And on the back part of his armor, there was a little pulley system that allowed him to scale walls. He came with a grappling hook, there was a string that attached to just a little stopper piece, and if you hooked the hook on something and then pulled the little stopper, it would pull him through the grappling hook system. Mine, unfortunately, was all tangled up and broken, so I just have the hook accessory, but it is kind of a fun little action feature. His additional accessory is his orange blaster, which I've said it before and I'll say it again. I like the barbarian side of Masters of the Universe more than the science fiction side, so guns as Masters of the Universe weapons don't inspire me a whole lot, but it works alright for this guy. He's got this very interesting symbol on his chest. It's not really a Black Widow marking, but it sort of evokes that feeling. Webstore has red eyes and white teeth painted on his blue skin. He's got an orange belt with some black feet, and he's got some purple boots down at the bottom that make me think of Skeletor quite a bit, but he actually has a very different skin tone. Some people may be asking, why is Webstore not higher on my list? Well, he reuses a lot of parts. He has the arms and legs and chest of Skeletor, with blue skin, I might add, even though it's a darker shade. So it feels like his weapons and his head are the only thing new on this figure, and for a spider character to have just giant muscular arms that maybe are kind of demon-themed, it just doesn't give me the same wow factor as some of the other characters. Number 3 for 1984 is Fisto, the heroic master of hand-to-hand combat. Fisto's a manly man with his epic beard and big stash. He's got an awesome suit of armor on, making him seem more ready for battle than He-Man or Man-at-Arms. He comes with a purple sword, and of course, his giant fist! Fisto has 2 action features. One is his pounding feature, and the other one is his power punch. You can actually combine the two by raising his arm and twisting his body back and get a really big super slam. I do also like that his wrist becomes an articulation point. I always thought that was kind of cool on this figure, since Masters of the Universe characters don't have a lot of articulation. Fisto has some nice paintwork on his face, some interesting armor. Fisto's got a purple belt, brown loincloth, and purple boots. One other interesting thing to note about Fisto is he's one of the only characters with a left hand that can hold a weapon. As a kid, I had an extra Fisto from a yard sale, and I removed this arm, and I gave it to He-Man so he could hold both of his weapons at the same time. In the number 2 spot from 1984, we have Orko, the heroic court magician. Now I know some people don't like Orko, but he was such an important part in the cartoon show, and I was really excited that they released a figure of him. I also think it's pretty cool that he's so unique compared to most of the other characters. Orko is dressed in a maroon robe. He's got his black O on his chest, some light blue skin for his hands and his ears. He's got his scarf in purple, and he has a removable orange hat. I always thought that it was really bizarre that it came off, and that he looked really weird this way. But it's kind of fun. It does create a lot of paint rub situations with his ears. I'm going to put his hat back on. It doesn't sit down quite as low as it does on the show, and he's actually a pretty big figure compared to the goofy little floating guy in the show. Along with that hat, Orko came with a magic trick. It's a little container. There are like cardboard tokens that go inside it, or maybe they're plastic. I don't even know. I don't have all the little tokens, and I've never understood how the magic trick worked. There's good guy tokens and bad guy tokens. That's kind of all I know about it, because I didn't actually have Orko as a kid. His final accessory is a ripcord. This ripcord can be inserted into the figure. So when you pull his ripcord, it activates a little pin on the bottom here that makes him run around. And number 1 from 1984. I'm just kidding. I want to put Prince Adam in here as an honorable mention. Like with Orko, I was really happy they made a Prince Adam figure. A lot of people complain about it, like they didn't want that figure. The best part of any episode of Master Universe, in my opinion, hands down, is the transformation sequence. Without Adam, you can't transform him. In my opinion, the number 1 figure for Masters of the Universe in 1984 is Buzz-Off, the heroic spy in the sky. This guy is an interesting character. He's got an interesting ability. He's different from most of the other characters. He looks pretty unique. He's got some good accessories. I really like Buzz-Off. So here we've got Buzz-Off. His helmet is kind of take it or leave it. I think his head sculpt looks fine without it. So, you know, it's good to have some protection in battle. But the brown eyes over his green eyes is a little bit silly. He comes with a brown axe. We've seen this axe before. It's one of the Castle Grayskull weapons. He can hold it sort of sideways in this one hand that's open, or you can just put the D handle around his closed claw there. He has these weird lobster hands, this one being from Clawful. This one was new, I assume, for this figure. I don't think it was used on anybody else. But this time it's a closed pincher instead of the open pincher. He's got the striped chest. It gives him the B look. This is shared with Whiplash. He's also got the Whiplash legs, but they look very insectoid, and I think look better than Webstore's feet. He's got a yellow belt here with some brown loincloth. And on his back, he has some B-Wings. And they are kind of cool. They're very techno-looking. When you look at them, they're clear plastic. I like that you can put them out to pretend he's flying. Bzzz, or fold them up to have him ride vehicles or, you know, stand around. I thought that was a great little feature for him. Buzz-Off was a very fun action figure and very different looking compared to most of the other Masters characters. I really like this guy. If you disagree with any part of my list, let me know in the comments down below. I did poll a few other toy collectors when I was putting together this list. After we hashed out who the top 5 best figures were, I picked the order for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out my other top 5 Masters of the Universe figures lists.